Morning. It is 6:33 a.m. 19th of July. Welcome back. It's a Saturday morning. This will be a short video. Got work today, so I'm gonna have to race off soon. I got a poem here from an author that I kind of want to start. I just read, or I saw someone that was reading one of his books. Haruki Murakami. Haruki Murakami. So I got one of his quotes here, and I liked it. So I'll read it out. It goes, it's on conviction. Nobody's easier to fool than the person who is convinced that he is right. Nobody's easier to fool than the person who is convinced that he is right. True. It just reminded me of that perception. It is often the case that we believe our own perceptions of the world. I mean, we perceive something and we believe it to be not true, but it's our, or in some instances, it's our conviction. And nothing can change that. I am definitely guilty when it comes to how I view certain topics or issues or way of living. But I like to think that maybe the older I get, the mature I get, that there are different ways of living this life and asking questions and challenging yourself. I was going to say challenging other people. Challenging other people is good, but I think challenging yourself is more important. Putting your ego aside and really is hard. Is very hard. I was tested quite a lot this week. When I think about some of the things or the situations I was in, ego is something that it fuels a lot of my choices and the way I think of things, and I truly end up being a fool if I let my and I'm willing to play a fool or be a fool in order to learn, but I also, my ego really does stop me sometimes, and I need to something I need to work on. I'm very guilty of that. So yes, conviction. Nobody's easier to fool than a person who is convinced that he is right. Right. And I admire it when fucking people take accountability and willing to change. I really admire that about some of my very good friends who are willing to have awkward discussions and change their way of thinking. When I realize that, I also change my thinking as well if I agree with them. So it's definitely an admirable trait. Whenever I meet someone who's, stuck in their ways, I also fucking admire that as well, where it's just like, that's just them. They've decided that that's how they want to live their life, and hey, if it works for them. So yeah, it's finding that balance, but I have, again, like I said, the more mature I get, the more I want to be able to not be so fucking narrow-minded all the time. Put my ego aside and play a fool if I need to in order to learn. So, yeah. Right. Throw my hands up, deuces. I'll see you guys tomorrow.